Any comments, questions about that at all? I don't give a care. Doesn't bother me. My stuff's already stolen.
How long do you think this hole is going to remain there?
Probably until the next administration takes over.
So either 2 or 6 years from now.
Or longer, right? Okay, Trump gets reelected in 2020. All right. Pence gets elected in 2024. I don't see him actually stepping up and doing any of that stuff either.
I mean,
Could happen.
I'd like to think that the country is learning.
I'm afraid that we're actually going to get hit in the face hard enough that we actually have to do something as...
It's going to take, you know,
versus freedom.
I love my country. I do. I served 8 years in its military. Right? You can't say that I don't. I haven't led red, white, and blue. But I've learned something also about my fellow Americans. My average fellow American. They typically do not learn until they're forced to. They typically do not adopt or adapt until they're forced to. Exactly. Okay? That's why we have. I will argue that point. Some people do like change. Okay? It depends. But typically, the people who do like change have traditionally been in the minority. Okay?
Pocket change is always nice.
Of course.
I don't like pocket change. I like those.
Yeah, well, I like Benjamins. There we go.
Bill,
It's a big deal.
Bills in the mail nowadays, so...
All right, we digress.
Yeah.
But anyway, typically, we do not change unless we are forced to. And we have precedent.
Yeah, you didn't start right at 8.
That's true. All right, so. All right, so I got Callie on VMNet 1. I'm going to start up my CIS target on VMNet 1 as well. So while those two are doing their thing, let's take a look at this real quick. All right, so this is kind of easy this week. All right, I want you to break into a server. All right, and we're looking for proof that you got its hashes. Okay?
Can we use any tool to...
I don't care. I'm going to show you how to do it one way. There's half dozen ways you can do it. At least that I'm going to do it.
As long as we show the program with...
The hashes. I'm just looking for the hashes. Now, if you crack the hashes too, bonus point. Well, no bonus points. Gotta be careful what I say.
You already offered that once.
No bonus points, but hey, golf clap. Alright? Good job. Alright? And then I want you to use some sort of brute force tool to try to break into a service. Okay? With one of those accounts that you found. So let me show you how you can do this on Windows. You can do it on Metasploitable as well. Just be on a different network. It works the same fashion. Okay. Make sure my target is up. Hey, it sure is. Oh, come on, Kelly. Here we go. So, I don't need you to do a scan or open boss or anything this time around. Anything crazy. Here we go. We're going to open up Armitage. I'm going to show you how to do it with Armitage. So, I'm going to start my PostgreSQL. Otherwise, Armitage will bark back at me that it's not happy. I'm going to look and make sure I'm on the right subnet. I am. I know that .21 is the Windows target. It has a static address, and that has not changed from lab 1. So I'm going to quickly ping that one, make sure I can reach it. Uh-oh. so I can reach the CIS target, the Windows box. Alright, so I can get there. Great, fantastic, wonderful. Okay, go ahead and launch Armitage. That come up. And while that's coming up, there's one other tool I want you to bring up. So if you go into Show Applications, it's under number 5 for password cracking tools. It doesn't always show up in the application area, but when you go into the folder, it will. I want you to look for HW8. It's the one here. Not this one, this is the command line version. I'm going to show you the GUI version.
HDK?
Yeah, I think that's it. Hydra. GTK, sorry. I said H. I was a little wrong. Alright, so if you get a message like this, could not determine the attack computer IP, just put your IP address in. So, mine I think was 133. $132. Okay. Yeah. I've already done the scan, obviously, so I see 199.21. It's up there, but I'm going to go ahead and just do a quick in-map scan of it. So I get all the ports and everything else. Because this is important. I need to see what ports are I can potentially attack with Hydra.
Can we still be using the same image we used in Lab 1, or should we start? Okay.
Absolutely. You can use this on the Windows box. You can use it on the Metasploitable too. Either way, doesn't matter. 6 in one hand, half a dozen in the other. Just you have to make sure you're on the same subnet as the target.
Yeah, I would not put the hardware.
Yeah, I know. That trips up a lot. I had a student email me today and say, "Hey, I'm working on this lab and I just cannot seem to get this out." And I said, "Make sure you're on the same subnet and have you checked this box for this attack that you're trying to do." I hadn't heard back from them, so I'm assuming they got it right.
That's weird.
It's okay. You're learning this stuff. I don't expect you to get it right and perfect the first time. If you do, great. Wonderful. Fantastic. If not, that's okay too. Alright, so looking at some of these ports. Hey, we have port 21 open. Hey, we have port 25 open. We have port 445 open. Okay? But we need to be able to use some sort of account to try to infiltrate the box. Alright? From a brute force standpoint. So, a couple different ways we can do this. Alright? And we may want to try this just to see if we can, you know, brute force it. We can. What I'm going to do with this box is I'm going to use MS0950.
Well, that's not.
What?
Reinvent the wheel.
Yeah, I know, right? But here's the thing that you can do. This is also good that to show how you can dump passwords.
When we're using Hydra to brute force, if we make a word list with one thing in it, is that fine?
Why don't you just use common.txt that you use for the wireless? That's fine too.
15 gig word
Well, because the password is MSF admin, I don't think it can have that in the word list.
Add it. Oh, yeah. Professor Brown has an answer for everything, doesn't he?
I try to keep them the same.
Alright, so I'm going to use the SMB2 negotiate attack. Alright. Double click on that. Make sure that my Localhost is right. Ooh, I don't have my remote host on here, so I need to make sure that that IP address is in there. Okay? Otherwise it's not going to work. Check the reverse connection. Goes. Yada yada. Bingo. So, once you have that connection, again, you can interact with the interpreter, but one of the things that Metasploit allows you to do is interact. Sorry. I'm sorry. Access and dump hashes. So with the Windows box, you want to dump hashes with the registry method. Why? Windows has a registry. It's going to keep the hashes from the SAM file there. On a Linux box, that won't work. Obviously, the Linux box doesn't have a registry. Linux box, there's a couple of different ways you can do that. You can try the W digest or the LSAS method, depending on what distribution it is. That doesn't necessarily always work. There's another way you can do it with Linux, which I'll show in a second.
Can't you just do it C#?
Don't steal my thunder.
Again.
Yes, you're absolutely. That is the path I am going down.
Just making sure.
Yeah, I'm not, not too much secret sauce. All right, so as I'm running that, you're going to see that I'm going to grab the different hashes. There they are. So you see the usernames and then the hashes. So a couple different ways you can do this. If you know a username or if you know a common username for an operating system, root, nobody, guest, administrator, etc. You can try to break into it. So I'm just going to use S-Green. Alright, so here when you dump the hashes, screenshot, 20 points, done. Everybody got that? I'm looking for these hashes, whether it's from the Windows box or a Linux box. Again, Linux box you have to do kind of an extra step. Alright? So once I have that, I can then go to Hydra. And it's really, really easy to set up. It's very intuitive. Put the IP address of the target. What port do we want to attack? Well, go back to our port list here. Well, what do I want to try to attack here?
445.
Oh, we already did that one. Port 25, mail server. Okay? S-Green may have a mail account. Okay, so we'll do that. So port 25. Protocol, that's what? SMTP, right? Simple Mail Transfer Protocol. There. Be verbose and show attempts. That way you can get some feedback from the tool. Alright. What username? So that was going to be S-Green. Alright, or one of those users we had from the hash page. Password. This is where I want to select the list. To select the list, I hit the radio button, then I click inside the field and just go look for a common.txt file. Up.
And so it's also generating the command line version in the bottom little script.
Yeah. So now on tuning, this is important if you're actually doing something real time. I like to use the router, switch, access point, firewall example. If you're trying to brute force one of those and you are encountering an intrusion prevention system. How many, for those of you in 467 or have taken me for 467, how many virtual terminal lines are there on a router, typically? There's 2 correct answers. 2? No, you're wrong. On both counts. 16 is 1 correct answer on certain types of infrastructure. You're absolutely right. What's the other? Well, you guessed right. No.
0.
0 through 4. BTY 0 space 4. You guys have seen that before in the configuration box. Yeah. So, you want to tune this. It defaults to 16 because there may be up to 16 terminal lines that are potentially open, especially on like a Linux box. But I want to reduce this down to, say, maybe, half, 8. My timeout, that's how long I'm going to wait for a session response. Now, if I'm doing this over a long distance, I would want to have that as high. Alright? Say I really want to just hammer away at something, I'm going to reduce this. Let's say reduce it down to 12. Okay? Now, if you have this too high, an IPS will pick it up. If you want to go and be really, really, really quiet and defeat an IPS, you reduce the number of tasks down to like 1 or 2, and then you increase the timeout to a minute or 2 minutes. Typically, an IPS will not detect you. Downside is what?
Takes forever.
Takes a lot longer.
Unless you charge by the hour then.
Oh, darn it.
See, this is why you're a business major and he's not. Yeah, pick on the CS major. That's okay, I'm a CS major too. Never mind. Although I do have a master's in business. Go figure. Alright, so we'll keep that there. If you are going through any type of proxy, if you're going through a firewall, you may have to set these up, but we're not. We're doing everything locally. Specifics for specific protocols, you would, set that up in this section. Nothing to do with SMTP. And now the start, this is where your output will come out. Start. And you will start after a couple of seconds to see attempts. There you go. Right. So you will get some retries. Alright, and you'll see it just go through the list. You don't have to wait for the whole thing. I'm just looking for that you've got an attempt going, so a screenshot of that is your second 20 point. If you want to use a different tool other than Hydra, by all means, just show me that you made the attempt. Okay? You want to use Cain Enable, John the Ripper, right? Hashcat. You want to take the hashes and throw it in Hashcat? You can. So with that, I can go back, look at my hashes, say, okay, where's my hash start? In, Control C, open up the leaf pad. Oh, you suck.
Didn't work.
I think it's more of a VM tools thing than anything else. Copy.
It's usually a Control-Shift copy paste.
Yeah, well, I had to do those. So once I have the hash, say I wanted to crack this offline, that's perfectly fine. Go into an application called Hashcat. Then there are password attacks. There it is. Alright. Oh,
You still have no idea what just happened.
hold on. You had no idea what happened.
Oh, it was a light in the terminal.
Yeah. Did I say?
Hashcat.
No, maybe I'm thinking off track. Off track, I'm sorry, off track. Hashcat's non-viewer. You can do that too, though. So you can load
Hash.
a single hash. Paste that in there. Okay. There's my hash. Right. And I can just do it as simply as that, crack. See if it'll crack it.
Might go a little faster if you let it to tables.
Oh shoot! Whoops.
Well, let's see
Stop
what
at the
happens.
same place.
I want to see what happens.
I do have to load a table, don't I? Tables. Oh, what do you mean you're not installed? Damn it.
Yeah, and they're pretty big too.
I know.
There are online tools to do this.
I know.
You could just use like John the Ripper, I believe.
Yeah.
That'll work.
I actually thought I had these installed.
You might have them on disk.
It says on disk.
If you click install, you have to find them. But if you have them on there, you have them on there. I don't know if you do or not.
That's really set up.
Yeah, you're right. You would have to have a table and then hit crack and do that. Or, if you really want to do it fast and easy and down and dirty and cheat a little bit, Armitage has one embedded in it.
Or you can just go online to Crack Station.
You can go online to Crack Station too, but you know what? I don't want to put all my stuff out there. I can go in to view credentials. There's all my hashes. And this actually integrates in with John the Ripper.
Yeah.
There you go.
So Armitage, it does have a built-in password list that John's pulling from.
Exactly. Alright. So you don't have to go to this extent. If you want to, by all means, please. I'm just looking that you got the hashes and you try to brute force attack of some way. Look there.
Look at
Administrator, change me 1, 2, 3. Salesman, S green, money 1, 2, 3. Yada yada yada. Okay? The Linux way is very similar, except you may have a hard time pulling the hashes in Linux, and an even harder time cracking the hashes in Linux. Why? Because Linux actually salts their shadow file. So,
And that's splittable, everything can be cracked,
yeah,
except the root one is really, really hard. I still
root
have
one's
to
really, really hard. Okay? It depends on what tool you're using. Alright? You guys have any questions on that? Yes, no? Maybe so? Okay? This is an intermediate type of homework, in my opinion. I mean, it's a little bit harder than a scan, a little bit less, complicated than the actual vulnerability exploit. You're using a known vulnerability exploit. Right? Okay. I don't have anything else. I would go ahead and start looking at downloading lab